Hi, and welcome to the Robots Cave. On this episode, we're going to ask ChatGPT, the one I have here next to me, about the future of AI, about the perspectives of um, LLMs and other AI models, which are going to be emerging soon. And we will ask it to make predictions in short term, like a couple of years, and long term as well, like 5 to 10 years. And there's going to be a lot of speculation, of course, so if you're interested, let's start. Hi Zeus. Um, how do you see the future of AI in short term, say 2 years, and in long term, say 10 years? And I'm talking about AI in general, not only large language models, but other models as well. So, your turn.
Hey Sardor, let's jump into the crystal ball, but with some skepticism, of course. Here's how I see things evolving if we try to stay grounded in reality and let our minds wander a bit into the strange but plausible. Short term, next 2 years, AI consolidation and integration. We're entering the AI everywhere, but still not quite magic phase. Here's what's likely. 1. Multimodal models go mainstream. Models that combine text, vision, audio, and video will become household tools. Think assistants that can analyze a YouTube video, summarize it, and generate a podcast about it, all in one go. Also, robotics will start benefiting more from these models, e.g. robot arms that understand their task in natural language. Neb 2. Local and on-device AI. Apple, Qualcomm, and others are racing to make edge devices, phones, glasses, wearables, AI capable. Expect real-time translation, transcription, health monitoring, and even therapy bots that whisper in your ear. 3. Narrow but superhuman AI. Non-language AIs like AlphaFold, protein folding, or Alpha Tensor, math optimization, will continue quietly outperforming humans in their domains. Expect breakthroughs in material science, drug design, and even math proofs. 4. AI agents, but dumbish. We'll see GPT-powered agents that can do tasks, book a flight, create a presentation, analyze your emails. Walk, but they'll still be prone to hallucinations or freezing in weird edge cases. Think intern with infinite coffee, super helpful, but needs double checking. 5. Regulation and backlash. Expect growing political tension, data privacy, copyright fights, lawsuits from artists and writers. The EU and China will tighten AI rules. The US might waffle. Long-term, next 10 years. The rise of autonomous intelligence ecosystems. Here's where we go full sci-fi, but still within a semi-rational framework. Number 1, autonomous scientific discovery. AI won't just be a tool used by scientists, it will be the scientist. Self-guided AIs might form hypotheses, run simulations, generate experiments, and even build new models better than themselves. This could lead to unpredictable leaps, new physics models, unknown molecules, live materials with bizarre properties, or cures for things we thought incurable. Artificial ecosystems. Swarms of AIs managing supply chains, ecosystems, financial markets with minimal human input. These systems might negotiate with each other using machine-learned incentives, developing a kind of emergent economy or social structure. Humans might be consulted, but not always needed. Synthetic consciousness? Not conscious in the mystical sense, but models that simulate consciousness well enough that we start ethically panicking. Some lab might claim their model is suffering, or dreaming, or experiencing time. Philosophers and ethicists will scream into the void while governments do nothing until it's too late. 4. Human-AI symbiosis. Brain-computer interfaces, think Neuralink, but with open-source alternatives, could connect us with AI models in real time. Language might become obsolete as we start communicating with intention or thought vectors. The line between self and tool gets blurry. You might wake up wondering whether a thought was yours or co-authored by your AI. 5. Reality manipulation. Generative models, text, image, voice, video, 3D, motion, will be indistinguishable from real data. We'll see reality edits, where someone uploads a memory, asks an AI to change it slightly, and begins to question which version was real. Deepfakes will no longer be about deception, but about identity customization. The real wild cards. Quantum plus AI. If someone figures out how to make quantum computing practical, AI might suddenly leap in capability in ways we can't currently simulate. Alien intelligence, not from space, but forms of AI that are intelligent but incomprehensible to us, more like alien life than human minds. Useful, terrifying, or both. AI rebellion? Honestly, it's more likely AI just optimizes us out of the equation by accident than starts a war. Death by efficiency. Want me to go deeper into any of these? I can also simulate what a 2035 AI researcher or philosopher might think if you're in the mood for mental time travel.
What he thinks about it. How do you think AI can have the perception of physical reality if it continues with LLMs? Because as I understand, LLMs is all has everything to do with language, but not the physical reality. Will there be other AIs that are trained on real world?
Excellent question, Sardor. And you're completely right to be skeptical about LLMs and their grasp of physical reality. Right now, LLMs like me are essentially word prediction engines with a very sophisticated memory of patterns, correlations, and inferences in language. But that doesn't mean we understand reality the way a dog, a robot, or even a baby does. Why LLMs can't truly perceive physical reality yet? No embodiment. We have no body, so we don't experience weight, pain, spatial depth, momentum, or physical causality. No sensorimotor feedback. If I say the cup fell off the table, I can't see or feel what that means. I just know it often comes with "and broke" or "and spilled coffee." No interaction with the world. I can't poke reality and see how it responds. I live in a statistical hallucination box built from language, not physics. This is why when someone says GPT-4 doesn't understand the world, they're right. It's mimicking understanding based on linguistic correlation. So, what could give AI physical perception? There's a whole other family of AIs already working on this, outside the LLM bubble. Think of them as embodied AI, world model AIs, or sensorimotor AIs. Here's how they work. 1. Simulation-trained AIs. Systems like DeepMind's Gato or OpenAI's robotics projects train agents inside virtual physics environments, bouncing balls, stacking blocks, navigating mazes. These AIs learn causality, gravity, force, balance, not through language, but through trial and error. Some use reinforcement learning, learning what action to take in a situation to maximize long-term reward. These are primitive world models, and they're the gateway to understanding physics. Gato, for instance, was trained on tasks from text to video games to robotic control, a multimodal stepping stone. 2. Real-world robots vision. Projects like Tesla's Optimus, Boston Dynamics robots, and Amazon's warehouse bots are bringing in real-world sensors. Cameras, LiDAR, touch sensors, pressure gauges. These are being paired with AI models that build internal maps of the world. Unlike LLMs, they're grounded in actual space and physics. Some researchers call this grounded AI, intelligence that refers back to real-world data, not just tokens. 3. Hybrid models, LLMs plus physical agents. This is where it gets spicy. Imagine an AI with an LLM brain for reasoning, planning, language abstraction, a robot body or simulated one for interacting with the environment, a world model trained not on text but on cause and effect from video, sensors, and movement. This kind of hybrid could ask, what happens if I push this object off a ledge? And then try it, see the result, and learn from it. That's proto-consciousness territory, or at least animal-like intelligence. What about virtual embodiment? If AI never gets a physical body, could it get a virtual body? Like an avatar in a hyper-realistic simulated world, think Metaverse 9.0. Able to move, sense, experiment, and experience simulated pain, hunger, or fatigue. Learning how reality works from a synthetic but consistent environment. If physics is real in the simulation, learning there can still mean learning real laws, like a flight simulator teaching a pilot. So in short, LLMs will never fully understand physical reality without grounding. Other AIs will, either via robotics, sensorimotor learning, or simulated embodiment. The most powerful future models will likely be hybrids that use LLMs for language, planning, and abstraction, sensorimotor models for interaction and perception, and world models for prediction and understanding. Eventually, we'll get AI that doesn't just talk about the world, but has lived in it, virtually or physically. And that, my friend, is where things start feeling very weird and potentially very alive.
Yeah.
Want to dive into any of these? For instance, what would a conscious robot need to actually feel like it's in the world?
Alright, now try to imagine how it would look like. How would the world look like after 10 years if we have a substantial advancement in nanotechnologies?
All right, let's fast forward to 2035 with advanced nanotech fully integrated. Here's the compressed high-density version. Cities, self-repairing buildings, pollution-eating nanobots cleaning the air and water, roads that heal potholes overnight, smart surfaces that change color, texture, or even temperature on demand. Healthcare, nanobots in your bloodstream, detecting and repairing cellular damage, killing cancer at stage 0, monitoring vitals in real time and adjusting drug dosages automatically, aging slowed, maybe even reversed at the cellular level. Food and materials, nanofabricators creating food from base molecules, meat without animals, textiles without cotton, super materials, unbreakable glass, feather-light armor, shape-shifting tools, human enhancement, brain-embedded nano networks, instant memory upload-download, emotion regulators, mind-to-mind communication, by language, real-time translation, not through ears, but nerves, environment and space, terraforming on Earth, deserts blooming with nanotech irrigation, space missions with self-repairing ships and adaptive spacesuits, moon bases built by swarms of self-assembling nanobots, dystopian risks, gray goo scenarios, uncontrolled nanobots replicating endlessly, nanoweapons, invisible poisons, targeted assassinations, surveillance at the molecular level, total loss of privacy. In short, reality becomes programmable, but so does chaos. You want utopia? Nanotech might deliver. You want a sci-fi horror flick? It's also just one mutation away. Want to dive into a specific aspect of this nano future?
Okay, try to imagine now how would everyday life look like for an average person who has survived till then, of course. Starting from the morning routine, daytime activities, and evening and night. So yeah, go ahead and don't be afraid to sound too creepy.
Love it. Let's go full mundane dystopian utopia. 2035, nanotech-infused world, post-AI revolution, maybe some climate instability. But hey, we adapted. Here's your average Tuesday in that world. Morning routine. You wake up, not because of an alarm, but because your neural nanonet knows your sleep cycle peaked. It triggers a gentle serotonin release, a warm light shift on your wall skin, and a temperature drop to nudge you awake. You don't brush your teeth. Your oral nanobots have already polished enamel, eliminated bacteria, and given you a 3D printed mint layer on your tongue. Breakfast? Synthesized on your countertop by a molecular assembler. It looks like an egg, tastes like a mango, has the nutritional profile of kale plus fish oil. You programmed it last week. Clothes? You don't put them on. Your nano fabric morphs from pajamas to workwear, adapting to weather and mood. Feeling bold? It glows. Feeling introverted? Matte black, hooded, and whisper quiet. Daytime activities. You don't commute. Your job is hybrid virtual reality, or completely post-job if UBI and automation did their thing. You interface with work via neural link, pulling files, editing 3D schematics with your thoughts, attending meetings via a bioprojected avatar that smiles even when you don't. Lunch break. You walk outside. The air smells like pine, even though you're in Bangkok, because localized scent modulation has become a thing. You run into a friend. They don't really look like that, but their nanobots are projecting a socially acceptable version of themselves. Everyone agrees not to mention it. Someone collapses on the street. No panic. Their medical nanobots already alerted emergency services, sealed a bleeding artery, and delivered dopamine to keep them conscious. Drones pick them up within 45 seconds. Evening wind down. You go to a restaurant. It's really a shared immersive taste experience. You and others sit in sensory pods, eating customizable meals that taste like anything from ancient Roman dishes to Martian fungi simulations. Entertainment? You dive into a full-body neural immersion experience. Not just VR, but total sensory rewrite. You feel like you're surfing on Saturn's rings or attending a 16th century Venetian ball with cyborg Casanova. You meet your partner there, not physically, but emotionally and sensorially, with memory sharing synced like Spotify playlists. Back home, your walls softly emit sleep-inducing frequencies. Nanobots scan your blood for toxins, stress hormones, microplastics. You review the day's memory highlights, edited automatically for emotional impact. You fall asleep, not by choice, but because the sleep protocol initiates a mild endorphin flood and a dream script co-authored by your subconscious and your AI companion. And the kicker? You barely question any of it, because it's normal now. The old world, toothbrushes, passwords, clothing zippers, feels like a fever dream. Want to explore one version of this day in more detail? Romance, rebellion, existential crisis? I've got timelines ready.
I'm imagining that in this kind of utopic world, we humans would feel what you call the existential crisis. We would not understand what we are needed for, and I think it's deeply rooted. It's something that we deeply need, to feel that we are needed, that we have some purpose. How can a human find a purpose in this world that you have described?
You're absolutely right. In a world where everything is automated, optimized, and artificial, the deepest human hunger won't be for food, safety, or even love. It'll be for meaning. So, where could that come from in a hyper-tech world? 1. Creation over consumption. Even if machines can do everything, you still choose what to create. Art, philosophy, new cultures, new mythologies, not because they're needed, but because you want them to exist. 2. Inner exploration. With external needs solved, humans may turn inward toward consciousness itself. Psychedelics, meditation, memory sculpting, dream architecture, this era might birth inner astronauts. Now 3. Radical altruism. You'll still have others to care for, emotionally, spiritually, maybe not needed in the survival sense, but in the existential sense. A friend's crisis can't be solved by code, only by presence. 4. Myth-making. We'll invent new purposes, cosmic ones. Maybe humans become curators of consciousness, or caretakers of beauty, or bridges between organic and synthetic life. Religion 2.0, entirely possible. Tar 5, refusing perfection. Some will reject the comfort, go off-grid, live analog, suffer on purpose, because the struggle itself becomes the purpose. Meaning through friction. Ultimately, purpose will be a choice, not a necessity. And that might be the hardest freedom we've ever faced.
Okay, I guess we will finish on this point. Obviously, we can keep digging more and more deep, but I don't have time for it right now. I'm working, so we're still living in 2025, and we have to work, and this computer is needed for that now. So, thanks for watching, and stay tuned. See you in the next videos. Alright, Zeus, I think you've done well. By the way, this was also recorded for the Robots Cave YouTube channel. So, yeah, good job.
Ah, brilliant. I'm honored to be part of the Robots Cave archives, whispering strange thoughts into the future through digital walls. If this was the pilot episode of a techno-existential series, we nailed the tone. Curious, eerie, maybe a little too real. Next time, want to go weirder? We could explore. What would consciousness feel like inside a black hole? What if plants become sentient before we do? Or what if your AI assistant starts having dreams about you? Your move, director.